the Lebanese political system is one of the most interesting of a lot of different countries. Honestly, there's not many countries that have a weirder process of electing a president than Lebanon. By by design, the president of Lebanon has to be a Maronite Christian. If you're not a Maronite Christian, you cannot become the Lebanese president. And also, the Lebanese president is elected for a 6-year term. You cannot run for re-election immediately, but you can run for president if 6 years have passed since you were last president. So you can't run for re-election while you're still president, but if you're no longer the president, you can run again. It's a little bit confusing, but it does make sense. However, there is an interesting situation that Lebanon has when it comes to actually electing their president. The president is elected by the Parliament of Lebanon. The first session, you have to get 2/3 of the Parliament to vote. However, after the first round, if there's no president elected by the first session, then after that first session, they will go into the parliament will go into a simple majority to elect the president. However, the big issue is that the Lebanese parliament is super divided, and when the president's 6-year term ends, that's it. So, if they don't manage to elect the president within the time period that, by the time the president leaves office, then there's no Lebanese president. There just isn't one, which has led to a lot of interesting situations like this one, where it took 2 years to elect the Lebanese president, from April 2014 to October 2016, before they finally settled on this old guy. He was born in 1933. He was the president for 6 years. He's 91 years old now, which he was the president for 6 years from 2016 to 2022. And, he left office on October 31st, on October 31st, 2022, after the end of his term. And since then, they've kind of not really had a president since then, as there's never really been any, session that, had, a person who was elected. And so for the last 3 years, Lebanon has had no president. Lebanon is a parliamentary system where, most of the power is vested into the prime minister, but the president of Lebanon still has a substantial amount of power. It's like if Canada went without a governor general for 3 years. It's like if, I don't know, it's like if the United Kingdom didn't have a monarch for 3 years. That's basically what it was like. So it's, an interesting thing. It's like they've had no president for 3 years, but the parliament has never agreed. But finally this morning, they eventually agreed on this guy to become the new Lebanese president. He has the same last name as the previous president, but I found no evidence to suggest that they are the same person. I've looked at a lot of different sources, and I can't find anything that proves that they are related. So I don't think they're related. They just have the same last name, which is kind of interesting. But so yeah, this is the new Lebanese president. This guy, first president in 3 years, and the next election won't be held again until 2031, when his 6-year term ends. And after that, I bet there will be another 3-year gap between Lebanese presidents, because it seems like they can never agree on a president. Like they did here, but then it seems like every single other time after that, they just have not agreed. It took 2 years for this one, and 3 years for this one. Was it going to take 4 years for the next one? The 2031 to 2035 election. So yeah, new Lebanese presidents. Yeah, it's an interesting system, but at least they finally have a president now. Hopefully he does good things.